are now listening to the Film Situation podcast.
All right. Well, I'm so happy to be speaking with Jonathan Younger, president of Millennium Films. I was honored to be invited to a premiere screening of Lucky Strike, which is a film that he produced and also appeared in. It's a World War II survival thriller starring Scott Eastwood as an American soldier trapped behind enemy lines during the Battle of the Bulge. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me, Zeph. It's good to be in person finally.
It is, actually.
Yeah.
I think you're the first guest on the podcast to appear twice. So
Yeah, isn't this my third time?
Oh, right, because the first time it was for a different podcast, for Globe Screen.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But either way, it's always a pleasure. Was this the first time you guys had screened it in public?
This was like the first time we screened it for the public.
Nice.
Yeah. We're the distributor Roadside. The movie comes out on June 26th. It's going theatrical in the U.S. And so this is Roadside. They put this together to do it in D.C. And it made a lot of sense to do it here. You know, the 250th coming up, story. I mean, having a guest like that guy, Colonel Herb Stern.
That was incredible, man, because, you know, people use the term legend very loosely nowadays, but that guy really was a legend. I guess he was the last remaining survivor of the Battle of the Bulge. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we were told. And I mean, he's 107.
He's 107 years old?
Yes. And he's like, still got his wits about him. We got to spend some time with him in this area where we're doing photos before going into the theater. So I got to talk to him a bit.
Yeah.
And you have to speak loudly. But the minute he clocks your question, especially if it's something about the bulge, he like zeroes in and like just gives you a really lucid answer. So he was telling me about when they liberated this concentration camp. He was talking to me about the smells. He was talking to me about everything that they saw. And he told me, like, proud of it. He's like, we liberated them and then we burned that fucking place to the ground. And I was like, and I shook his hand. I'm like, thank you.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And like just about the confusion of the bulge and what was going on there and the cold. Like he talked about it like it has not been over 80 years. You know?
Wow.
Like it was... I've made a lot of movies and I've hung out with a lot of movie stars and I don't really get starstruck, but last night I was starstruck by him.
I felt the same when I saw him go by me, you know?
And he told Rod, Rod was really proud of this. I saw Rod last night after we were having dinner and he's like, did we get it right? And he's like, yes, you got it right. And so Rod, I think Rod Lurie had his life made last night.
Yeah. It was, shout out to the director, Rod Lurie, who was there as well doing the Q&A. And I don't know how old Rod is, by the way, but I was inspired by him as well because he's just so
Yeah.
energetic and he just has such a dynamic energy.
He does. Rod Lurie has a goodness inside of him that just comes out and an authenticity that for better or for worse always just comes out. And with him, you always know where you stand. He's thoughtful. That's why I love working with him. And,
nice.
He's become a really dear friend. So we like telling these stories and our goal always is authenticity. Yeah. Lucky Strike is an authentic movie. Obviously there was a lot of creative liberties taken. And it was based on a story that was told to Mark Friedman, who is the writer when he was 16 years old.
Wow.
And so he was like, he had interviewed over 100 vets from World War II when he was living in France, Americans. And so that story just stuck with him for over 50 years. And then
That's incredible.
He decided to write it into a screenplay.
Yeah. And I also loved the part where he's taking refuge. I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a couple of moments where he goes into people's houses that I guess were they French or from Belgium?
From French Belgium, yeah.
French Belgium, and you know he's like, I'm an American, but those parts weren't subtitles, so you're kind of experiencing the situation as he's experiencing the situation because he's like kind of like, what's going on here?
It's his POV.
It's his POV.
It's his POV, so you don't understand what the hell they're saying, you know. And he's trying to communicate with them, and Rod did that by design. At one point, there was a cut that had subtitles, and we decided to remove them.
This is a good move.
And yeah, just to put him there. And it's funny because you see, there was a lot of things like that. Because once you get into his POV, that's when the whole world is in color. You know, that you know, the beginning of the movie is black and white for a reason. But yeah, man. And to be honest, to Rod's credit, I actually wanted the subtitles in the beginning. And I was like, let's just see it with subtitles. And we saw it, like, Rod was totally right. He's like, we want to be with him on the journey.
Yeah.
You know? And it's funny. I was, you know, when you watch these movies like that and there's a lot of suspense and this guy's trying to survive and it's fucking cold outside and there's a war going on, there's Nazis everywhere, and you see him do certain things, and in your head sometimes you tell yourself as like an audience member, you're like, oh no, don't do it like that. Oh, do it like this. But like this movie was, when I was watching it last night, I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like thinking that, but at the same time, I was like, oh, hindsight. We're looking at it. We're already seeing hindsight, right? You know how like hindsight's 2020.
100%.
It's like what would we do in those situations, right?
I think about that all the time. I was talking about that with my brother just a couple of days ago. He said that if somebody dropped you into the past, like into the far past, the average just person would be extremely uncomfortable. Like just.
Oh yeah, completely.
And it tied into that because there was a real visceral nature of the film where you kind of felt like, okay, I feel like what this guy's going through, and what the fuck do I have to complain about anything in my cushy life?
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah.
There's a moment he's cold and he's cracking an egg, and I like that
was
part.
On the day, by the way, we made that up on the day.
That's incredible.
I told Rod, like, with the scene coming up, I'm like, he probably has it. Because I was all about, like, I want to see this guy eat something.
Yeah.
You know, like,
right.
It doesn't make sense that he wouldn't eat something.
Yes.
Right? And I was like, dude, he's in an egg. There's chickens. And I remember, like, the production designer, like, we had, like, real chickens. And I was like, let's crack some eggs, dude. Eat some eggs. And in the beginning, Scott was like, no. Then we did it, like, he's like, I'll eat 2 eggs. And then I was like, we're like 7 eggs later. He ate them.
Oh, thank God he didn't get salmonella.
Yeah. You know. It was cold enough.
Yeah. Oh, so that really, you said that, and I wasn't sure if you were joking or serious. That really was your idea.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. That was an incredible moment. Because, so what I loved about it was a number of things. Like you said, is that authenticity of, you need to eat something, and that's rarely shown. And what I liked about it too is it was gritty. Like the yolk it wasn't like a clean, like he cracked it and he just like perfectly eating it. It's like he cracked it like somebody really would in that situation. The yolk is like kind of getting on him, and you know. Oh, dude,
you know what we call that in movies? Texture.
Love it.
My favorite word in movies is texture.
I like
Texture. Everything needs texture.
Have you ever seen this Australian film called The Proposition? It's a Western.
No.
And it was really good. It was like this Australian Western.
Wait, was it newer?
It's like maybe from like 2008, around that time.
Okay, it's not the one where like Australia, like the guys like make their own armor or something and have this like fight. Oh,
no, I think. So, do you know the musician Nick Cave?
No.
Okay, there's a musician called Nick Cave that's from Australia that I think he was like big in the 90s, and he wrote the screenplay. And I just remember seeing that movie, and it was like, oh wow, there's like real like flies on these guys, and they look really dirty, and you just felt like what it was like to be there. And that's kind of how I was feeling about Lucky Strike. Like you really just felt like you were there.
Sorry, I'm like moving this mic closer because I'm trying to be more comfortable.
That's important. So yeah, please move it to your comfort level. I don't know if you remember this game back in the day, because we're similar sort of ages, but do you remember Wolfenstein 3D?
Of course.
Like I love that game, man.
To Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah. That was the shit.
Well, like it's like the vampire Nazis.
Yes. Yeah. There was moments, because it was so POV. There was like some moments in the film where I felt like a kid playing Wolfenstein kind
of. My favorite shot in the movie is of Jericho, where he was like holding the grease gun. He's like, like when they first get the sniper fire.
Yeah.
And like it's like a shot of Jericho, just like his like mouth is like that. It's like, and it's like this like crazy shot of him just shooting the grease gun. And I was like, though we did shots like that in the movie because that was like a callback, like classic World War II feel good films.
Yeah.
where Rod had a really good point last night, which is you can take creative liberties in World War II movies because there's a clear good guy and a clear bad guy. You know,
Absolutely.
We have no problem killing Nazis.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And there's some other things that I was surprised. I don't want to get into spoilers, but there were some historical sort of level of treachery. I'll leave it at that I thought was really fascinating. Was embedded in there. That was news to me, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know about that. Actually, I didn't know that there were Americans.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that there were Americans fighting actually for the Nazis, you know, or people born in the U.S. rather.
Yeah. Those were, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And the Greif, they were called.
Wow.
And yeah, man. So the thing is about these guys is they could talk about culture in America. Like they could talk about the small town they grew up in. They could talk about baseball statistics. They were able to talk about milkshakes and hamburgers and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the GIs, the Army, they had them the guys do certain things and learn certain things that if another GI just didn't do in their everyday behavior, something was off.
They could spot it out then. Yeah.
So they use like the most mundane ways of doing that, which obviously we see in the movie, which I'm not going to talk about here. But unless this comes out after the 26th.
Yeah, I guess, it's up to you. Talk about it, whatever you're comfortable or, not comfortable saying.
Well, if this episode airs after the June 26th, then we could talk about it.
We could make it air after
the 26th. If it airs after the 26th, then we could talk about spoilers. No problem.
Hold on.
Spoiler alert.
For years, I've teased that I'm going to have a spoiler alert button, and now I have it.
Yeah, so the whole thing with the Lucky Strikes, right? Why the movie's called Lucky Strike. And you see it in the beginning, even my character, when he grabs a cigarette out of the guy's mouth, and he's like, you burn the fucking Lucky logo first,
Yeah.
And why do they do that? They did that because most of the soldiers smoked. Actually, in their rations pack, they received like their guns, their food, and like 2 cartons of Lucky Strike cigarettes.
Amazing.
And so the Lucky Strikes had no filter. So what they do is when you pulled one out, you flipped it around and burned the logo first. You burn the logo first so that when you throw it on the ground, you leave no trace for the Germans or for anyone. Rather like, oh, there was Americans here. So if we didn't smoke a cigarette like that, there was questions,
Right.
Chances are you could have been a spy. You could have been part of the Greif. And the Bulge had the most. That was like one of Hitler's last ditch efforts. This was a battle fought about fuel, but it was Hitler getting a little full of himself, and they sent out. I mean, there was hundreds and hundreds of those guys.
Wow.
Of those guys, they had GI clothes. They knew some stuff. They didn't know secrets about radio, and they were trying to get radios and secrets and try to get to the different generals to kill them. But man, it's crazy. Could you imagine you're dealing with that in the weather, the Battle of the Bulge, and you're dealing with spies?
Oh my God. I was thinking about that because that moment where he's battered and he's sitting down, and I haven't been a cigarette smoker in many, many years at that point. But when he smoked that cigarette, I was like I want a cigarette right now.
Yeah. They made it look like, after a day like that, it's a reward. It's a reward.
Yeah.
So like.
That was a well-earned cigarette.
Sure was. Sure was well earned.
So
on set, we were all smoking real Lucky Strikes. I always smoke cigarettes on set.
Yeah.
Like after you get into the pressures of production and like you're shooting nights or something, you want to stay awake and like a cigarette gives you like a jolt of like nicotine.
Well, I hate to kind of be pro smoking, but it is a sort of neurotropic from my understanding.
I heard that about nicotine recently.
Yeah.
That like now people are like using nicotine patches for health reasons.
I might just start putting the patches on when I'm on set just to have that edge.
You ever see that movie Thank You for Smoking?
Yes, with Aaron Eckhart. Yeah.
Remember when like he's that lobbyist?
Yes.
And they kidnap him, and the way that they kidnap him is they like put him in and they just like put a shitload of nicotine patches on until he
that's-
passes out
that's
from like nicotine poisoning.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy.
That was, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I saw that in the
that's it.
theater when it came out. I think Jason Reitman directed that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I love that movie. He was great in that movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. And I like how he was friends with, like he would go have lunch with like the gun lobbyist and,
Yeah. And the way that they edited, they had the logos on top, like fast food, guns,
yeah,
cigarettes, tobacco.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Indie movies, man.
Absolutely, man. So Lucky Strike, like when did you first, how long did it take to develop this? Like when did this first come across your desk?
The first time Lucky Strike came across my desk was about 5 years ago. It was right after Outpost. Mark and Rod had told me about Lucky Strike. I was going to do it, then just kind of fell through the cracks and we didn't. And then they set it up somewhere else, and it was set up for a while, and then it fell apart. And a couple years ago, I was meeting with Rod. I'm doing another project with Rod and Mark, a television project.
Nice. Are you allowed to talk about that at all, or is that under wraps?
We're working on, it's either going to be a TV series or a movie, maybe a TV series. There's so many details. There's a World War II. It's always military stuff with us. But there's a World War II. It's about the Jewish brigade that fought in World War II under their own banner, under Magen David. They fought in northern Italy on the Sanyo River. So they went and they tore the Nazis limb from limb.
Wow.
They destroyed them. And I mean, it was really crazy. Like it was documented that the Nazis were on megaphones at the other side, and they're like, "Oh, so what happened with Churchill's army? He sends like the Jewish rats to come and now fight us." And I thought that they were just gonna
Steamroll over them.
And these are people that want to get into Europe to go see what the hell's going on with their families. You're not stopping them.
Exactly. Their level of motivation was sky high.
Sky high.
Yeah.
And they weren't like the fucking Nazis high on amphetamines and Pervitin. They were high on like, I want to know what the hell happened to my family, and I want to destroy evil right now.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
incredible.
from there, though, it continues. They go into Europe, and the war eventually ends in May, right, of 1945. But they stay in Europe. They go Nazi hunting. It's like the Real Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, so just thinking that.
It's kind of like Inglorious, Tarantino's movie was loosely based on the idea of the brigade. But he had it, he does revisionist history all the time.
Exactly.
And so, but this is like, they stayed in Europe for another 2 years, and they were Nazi hunting. Like if you were a Nazi, you were dead.
Yeah.
And then that mission turned into a unit running into orphans that they found out were Jewish. And then it turned out there was like hundreds of these kids that were taken into like different churches and stuff. And some of them, they didn't know if their family was alive. And so they went into a rescue mission. They rescued over 400 Jewish kids.
That's incredible.
Got them fake British papers and put them on a ship from Italy all the way to Israel.
Yeah, these people were straight up
And
heroes.
actually, one of those 400 was my grandfather.
No way. Wow.
He was liberated out of Auschwitz. He was like 15 at the time, or 14, and he talks about it. He actually talks about it in an interview. He's like, and the brigade came and saved us and got me on a ship to Israel.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That really is substantial.
So there's this book by Howard Blum called The Brigade that we bought, and we've been developing something out of it. But then, so back to my thing with Lucky Strike, then Lucky Strike became available. There was just an opportunity to make it, and we all wanted to work together again. And then we were like, we need to cast it. And then we were like, well, why don't we get Scott again? And then Scott didn't want to do a war film, blah, blah, blah. And
Is it because he had done several war films and it's just physically taxing as well?
I think there's the physical taxing thing about it. This was going to be an intense shoot. This was all in the winter, all outdoors, all that snow in the movie. It's all real.
Wow.
All that fog.
You sensed it. I'm not surprised because you got the sense of that as you're watching it.
Yeah. We were cold.
Yeah.
We were really, really cold.
That's rough.
Like really cold. And but yeah, but it lended itself to the movie. Again, texture.
Texture.
You know,
It was there.
all comes back to texture, man.
And Rod Lurie was talking last night that Scott Eastwood is not this sort of actor that just hides out in his trailer. Like, he's out there.
He's a generous actor. He stays on set so we can move quickly. He gives suggestions. He's really respectful. He's really talented. He's just a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a really, really good guy. He's one of my best friends. At this point, we're like, he's one of my best friends.
That's amazing.
We're really, really close.
Yeah, just a stand-up guy, huh?
Yeah.
And obviously the son of Clint Eastwood. I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan.
Who isn't?
Yeah. And so he resembles him. So in some of the scenes, you're like, oh man, I feel like I'm watching a young, like his dad, like you know what I mean, in certain moments, you know?
Yeah. He has it when he does it, like, that noise, that sound. Yeah. He totally Clint Eastwood. Yeah. They're different, but he's got that look and the shape of his face and the thing where, like, Clint Eastwood, he's always kind of like talk to himself in a scene where he's like, and he does that. Like Scott was doing that. And it just came out naturally.
That's awesome.
You know, it's like hereditary.
Does he ever talk about his dad?
Always.
Yeah.
They're very close.
That's awesome.
Very, very close.
So is this the second movie that you've done with Rod Lurie?
This is my second.
Yeah. So, of course, The Outpost, for anybody that hasn't seen The Outpost, also go back and watch that. That's an incredible film.
That movie still sticks with me till today. You know, it's been a while, but you know, and since then I made a lot of other films, and you know, we've got Rambo. Got dated for next
I was
summer.
just gonna talk about that because that is one I'm very excited about. From you know, talking to you and reading up on it, and very excited about that. So it's the prequel.
Yes.
To Rambo, where it focuses on the Baker team in Vietnam.
It's on the Baker team and then on him. And first of all, the team that was put together to make this movie is A-class. I mean, Jamari Hellender, the director who did Sisu. He's from Finland, Sisu 1 and Sisu 2. He is, in my opinion, the only director for this movie. The only one who gets it, understands what an audience Rambo wants. This is a guy that when he was a kid was like literally running around in the woods with a bandana and a knife and a bow.
He's been dreaming of this all his life, huh?
He had it all worked out in his head. We just supported him. Noah Centineo being the new Rambo. He brought also great guy, good actor. Got a lot of gravitas. He brought something special to it because it's funny. Everyone saw Noah always from like the Netflix movies or The Recruit, where they're a little bit light. And in the beginning, we were trying to cast the movie. I had watched The Recruit, and if you watch The Recruit without really paying attention, you can easily be like, "Oh no, this is not Rambo," just because of how the show was made. It's very light.
But you saw the vision.
Yeah, there were moments in The Recruit where something changed, even if it was just a few second scene. Something just changed in Noah's demeanor and face, and he went a little dark. It happened here and there, and that's when we were talking. Like, I think this guy can do it. You know, like I think this guy can really do it. I think he's the guy. And what's interesting about the prequel of what we shot is, you know, in all the Rambo movies, Rambo's the biggest badass in the room, always. But this is one of those ones where he's not in the beginning. It's like the origin story.
Right.
So like Rambo's not the biggest badass in the room right now. He's a badass, you know, but he has to go through it in order to really become the John Rambo that we know. And it kind of answers a lot of questions like, what the hell happened to this guy? You know?
Yes.
Which is alluded to in a lot of the movies, which we stayed true to, and obviously took our own creative liberties as a prequel with Yamari's vision and under his leadership. But and then Noah had to bring something different to it because you can't just play Stallone. That's not
correct.
Like Noah understands that. Any actor of note would understand that they had to bring their own, do their own thing, and like bring their own version of the character, which he did. Like he really did, and he pulled it off.
Where is he from? No.
Noah's from Florida.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But I think he's a Centineo. He's like Italian American. Yeah,
yeah. But
like,
he grew up in Florida.
He grew up in South Florida. Yeah, like
Nice, just like you. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy. Like when you talk to him, we get into a conversation. He like says things, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's like a saying only from like South Florida." You know, like I was like, "Oh, it's just a kid from South Florida."
Yeah,
he's a good guy though. And then we shot one day in Vancouver. I wasn't there for that day. My team was, but they shot basically like the end of the like the opening of First Blood.
Oh, the opening of First Blood. That's dope.
And Noah's such a family guy. His dad, it's just great. His dad was there, and he's a good dude, man.
That must have been exciting.
He's having a moment, Noah Centineo, man. He's having a real moment.
Yeah, and it's going to be even catapulted further when this movie comes out.
And it's crazy. Lionsgate planted a flag in the ground. They announced the date, June 4th, 2027.
Amazing. So less than a year away at this point. Yeah.
Which is like, in the world of distribution, that's saying something.
That's a big time.
Yeah.
You know what I was reading up on the other day, which I didn't quite realize? That one of the reasons back in the day for summer blockbusters was that air conditioning in people's houses wasn't a given. And so they would go out to the movies just because it was hot and it was like a cool environment.
Dude, we should do that. We should break air conditioners. I want to do that.
Well, now that
whatever will get them to go. It's like with the premiere of Aquaman.
Exactly.
The Entourage, when like all the power went out.
Right.
Went to the movies.
True. That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that was a major thing driving summer blockbusters.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's fascinating, right?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It does make sense,
Yeah.
Well, now that I guess electricity is becoming more expensive in people's homes.
Maybe
Those delivery charges. I don't know. I know where I live. I'm like, how's the electric bill this much, but the delivery charge for the electric is higher than what the monthly bill is?
It's like, have you ever gotten one of those crazy electric bills where like they were completely off and then you get a bill for like $25,000? Like that happened to me once when I was living in LA and I was not even married. I was single. I was living in a condo somewhere when I was younger. I was in my 20s. And all of a sudden, I got a bill from DW2 for like $25,000.
That's insane.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And so I had to like call DWP, which took like half the day.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we run the meter and do an estimate. I'm like, estimate what?
Right.
I pay like $180 a month.
Yeah, you're not running Bitcoin servers.
Yeah, exactly. Estimate what? And then I was thinking, I'm like, dude, how many of these mistakes go out? And what if it's like, it just goes to someone's like business manager and they pay it?
I know. I was thinking, that's just what I just thought of.
I feel like it's a numbers game,
100%.
But it was like, they're like way off,
Dude, I just saw on Instagram the other day, this guy in New York City bought a sandwich from some guy on the street. And the guy tried to charge him $8,500 on his credit card. So he's like, my man, what did you do? And then when he tried to charge it again, it was $825. So it's one thing if it was a mistake one time.
Wait.
For $8.25 sandwich, he tried to charge him $8,250. And then he ran his card again and tried to charge him $825.
Wait, so clearly something happened because this was a story that you read about?
Yeah.
So what happened after?
He threw the sandwich at the guy. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, the sandwich is for free. He's like, I don't want your sandwich. And he threw it. So that became a debate online. Should he have tomahawked the sandwich at that guy's head for doing that?
I mean, when you could buy an $8,500 sandwich, you could do whatever the hell you want with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah. I mean, no one likes the feeling of obviously somebody trying to get one over on them,
Of course.
So,
of course.
That's what it seemed like, Now, what was it that?
What kind of sandwich?
I know. That must have been a gold plated.
Yeah. That'd have been like the best Italian sub.
A diamond encrusted sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Cool.
Have you ever been speaking of sandwiches, have you ever been to Cat's Deli in New York City?
Of course.
Love Cat's Deli.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Absolutely.
About Cat's Deli?
Yeah.
My family, I'm not in this business, but my family's in the dairy business for many, many years. So the Swiss cheese that Cat's Deli uses is my family's.
No way. Yeah. I love their Reubens. Yeah.
So you know how there's like, oh, me too, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I will say though, Cat's is incredible, but on the West Coast, there is a deli in Beverly Hills. Well, just outside of Beverly Hills. It's called Factor's Deli. It's been open since 1948. They make an amazing Reuben, and they do their pastrami, like hand-cut pastrami, like thick pieces.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Oh, I got to try that.
Factor's Deli.
Yeah.
Shout out to Susie, who owns it. The whole family. They're amazing people. The deli is like a home. It's like a home away from home.
I'm definitely stopping there next time I'm
Nothing
in
like
LA.
a deli.
Yeah.
We went to a deli. I met you at a deli a few.
We met, a couple of months ago. Jonathan and I, and shout out to George Benno, who was there. We broke bread at a deli, and I liked it very much, actually.
Yeah. You guys were really gracious, and you got me a bottle of Macallan. You gave me a bottle of Macallan, the whiskey.
Yeah.
And I put it in my office.
Yeah.
And I was on a Zoom. I go on Zooms at Lionsgate all the time about different business that we had. And the head of production, he notices it every time. He's like, "See, you still have that bottle of Macallan back there that you didn't crack into." I'm like, "Well, when Rambo does $100 million, we'll open up that bottle."
I love that.
That's the $100 million Rambo bottle.
All right. I'm glad that it's being mentioned
amongst all of the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, God willing, it hits that mark and you'll enjoy it, and it'll be well deserved.
Absolutely.
But either way, it's well deserved because, listen, man, for a guy your age, you're pretty accomplished. Like, not to blow smoke here, but you've had a number of movies that you've produced, so it's really substantial.
Yeah. It was a testament to the time where the market was some years ago, where we could do a lot of these types of movies in 1 year. That's changed now.
Yeah.
You got to be more thoughtful about what you do today, and not just rush into just doing anything.
Right.
Be thoughtful about the numbers and everything like that. Which is where kind of, the AI of it all, I think, also comes in, which is being able to lower costs, raise production value, and do these like blends now where you're using some AI tools, not fully AI tools, for visual effects and stuff like that to help independent movies get made, I
was just going to mention that because Jonathan here is also the founder. Is a co-founder of Arcana, co-founder of
CEO,
and CEO of Arcana AI, which is a tool that I've used, and I've showed you how I've used it.
Yeah.
And it's a really awesome AI filmmaking tool.
Yeah, thanks, man. And it depends. You know what it is, man? Because there's like this whole stigma with AI, like Gen AI.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a stigma with AI across the board.
There's certainly a debate at the moment.
It's like a guitar. It's like a really, really nice guitar. And we spent a lot of time building this guitar. And this guitar can make amazing music, but it depends who's playing it. There's a difference between like a kid playing it, or if like I give the guitar to Slash, who's going to play it amazingly. And that's the experience before. So there's an example. We had this guy that we used in Arcana. He's a designer, he's a creator, and he made this really dope music video with Arcana. And it was like it was a rap battle video between Popeyes and McDonald's, and it was hilarious.
That is hysterical.
And so he made it, and it took him 3 days. And it is like, I'll show it to you sometime. It's like really, really
cool. I want to see that.
And so my partner, my co-founder.
Who wins the battle?
Oh, he did the one where McDonald's wins.
Okay.
Someone else did one where Popeyes wins. And both Popeyes and McDonald's love these things.
Oh,
in
cool.
fact, the guy is working a lot because of this.
Nice.
And so so my co-founder was talking to him, and he's like, so you made it all on Arcana? He's like, yeah, I made it all on Arcana. Then you traditional post editing software. It's like, but the assets and everything, after he did his storyboards, were all animated inside of Arcana. And he's like, it took you 3 days to make this? And he's like, no. It took me 20 years plus 3 days to make it. Which gets me thinking about the whole AI thing, which is I really truly believe the future belongs to the storytellers and to the creators. There's no substitute for human creativity. But today, as a creator, your only barrier to creativity should be passion, not costs, not all that stuff. And because you have access to these types of things, whether it's also distributing via creator economy and all that stuff. And, we started building Arcana almost 5 years ago now at this point, when everyone in Hollywood was putting their heads in the sand with AI. They're like, AI, it's the devil. AI, it's terrible. It's destroying it's going to destroy us. Dude, first of all, you're talking about an industry that has over 90% unemployment. If you really think about Hollywood.
Yeah.
The movie business, the entertainment industry. We're destroyed. Like there's a destroy. Let's start from there,
True.
And now with these types of things, young budding creators, storytellers, filmmakers have a shot on goal, and they can do something. And that's empowering the creative. That's empowering the independent space. That's allowing for creative risk to happen again. And if you look at the independent films from like the 90s through like the mid 2000s, like those are some of the greatest independent films. Yeah. Those are the movies that got us going. Those were the movies that can get a conversation going, change a life. I know that's a little exaggerating to say.
They changed my life because the movies from that era inspired me to become a filmmaker.
Yeah. And so you have this barrier to entry is lowered, and you can go and take this creative risk. In the 90s and the mid 2000s, you could, because there was still a video market. So if it didn't do well at the box, you were covered by the video revenues. Today, that the video doesn't exist, as we all know. There's the streamer numbers, and the streamers dictate these like pay one numbers, and we don't know other distributors. They don't know where they.
You don't know the analytics.
You can't figure it out, and so but you want to make something cool, right? And so, as opposed to just being in a sandbox of what you can make, where you get these like cookie cutter things, which a lot of streamers are doing. These tools will allow you to like come out of that box and make some cool stuff and be discovered on your own and discover yourself. The other thing also is these tools are going to be made no matter what.
It's inevitable.
Silicon Valley's been making them. Look at companies like Higgsfield and stuff like that. They're making them.
So it might as well be people that are pro filmmaker in the first place versus
pro storyteller. Silicon Valley making these tools is the +3 days that I mentioned earlier. Hollywood, people like us, controlling the evolution of these tools and working on it from our perspective, we're the 20 years.
Right.
They work hand in hand, but you can't just do the +3 days. You can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I see what you're saying. So it's interesting. Martin Scorsese recently came out in favor of using AI as a tool.
That's right.
For creating storyboards. And I thought that was fascinating. That
I love it.
I loved
it. I think it's amazing. And he's legitimizing it, which is a great thing. He's obviously a major voice in our business. And,
I love Scorsese. He's great. Who doesn't, right? Yes. But yeah,
I even loved Mean Streets.
Mean Streets is one of my favorite movies, man.
I love Mean Streets.
I think Mean Streets, like I love it. It's hard to say because Goodfellas is Goodfellas, but for me, Mean Streets holds a really special place in my heart.
Oh yeah, me too. And you saw him also evolving. Like you just saw him as a young filmmaker, and obviously De Niro and like all that stuff. But you saw like the train, like from Mean Streets to like Goodfellas. You saw just him learn as a filmmaker. You were like growing.
Yes, you did. There were experimental things and jump cuts, and you could see that he was experimenting with the form, and
it was a time when you could like take your time.
True.
You ever see that video of David Lynch? I feel like we always end up talking about David Lynch.
I love David Lynch. I have an artwork of David Lynch in my office.
I think he was an alien. Like he just lived. David Lynch lived in Lynchland.
Yes,
and we love Lynchland.
Yeah, I love Lynchland.
And But do you ever see the video where like he's on a monitor?
Yeah.
And he's at a video, and people are like, "Oh, we have to move." And he's like, "Whoa, what's this whole thing about moving on? What's this whole thing about moving on?" In the time, he goes, "I can't work like this." He's like,
Yeah, he's flipping out.
He's like, "I need to be." He's like, "I could have been in that other location for 5 days. We have to dream. Well, why can't we dream? I can't handle this shit." You know, and he's right.
He's so right.
Yeah.
And I see, by the way, it's a topic I actually really feel strongly about because I'm starting to shoot my next feature film in October. And one thing that we're not doing is rushing on the days. You know, I'm putting a lot of our budget in. Just I'm kind of, you know, one of my skills I think is stretching out a budget. But
yeah, you have to.
You have to. There's no other way.
But there's never enough money. I don't care if the budget's $60 million or the budget is $500,000. There's never enough money.
There's never enough money. Yeah. So I think it's like flowing water. You know, at some point, I'm sure you think about this as a producer. At some point, you have to turn the faucet off.
Yeah. We don't have a choice.
I heard that from a director on a project that I was producing once. She was like, "Zeph, people are always going to ask for more money. We have to turn the faucet off."
Yeah, exactly.
I said, "Okay, noted."
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
it's funny. I have stories. I did a short recently.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you. Yeah,
I shot a short recently.
Yeah, that your wife
produced.
that
my wife wrote.
That's awesome. How'd it go?
My wife is such a genius.
I'm excited to see that from what you told me.
I'm just when I just stop and first of all, I miss her dearly.
Yeah.
She was away for a while. We were like ships in the night. So I left the morning she came home and she'd been gone for a while. She was working. And so as we're talking about this now, I just miss her. But man, she wrote this short and we shot it and she directed it and starred in it. Casted it. I helped her put the funds together to shoot it. We shot it in 3 days. It was ambitious. It was like 17 pages, 18 pages in 3 days. We were doing.
That is ambitious.
Which, by the way,
sure.
On a short, for sure, you roll up your sleeves and you go for it. You know, I was playing different positions on the set. It was awesome. I love doing that. Like I love going. Like I want to make $1 million genre pictures.
Did you see this movie Obsession is crushing it?
Someone I know for many, many years financed and did that movie.
Oh, nice.
I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for the industry.
Yeah. It's a win for everybody when that happens.
Yes. And it just goes to show also like if the concept is good and the movie's just good, and also you don't need tens of millions of dollars to make something really great. You don't need it. You have to just be nifty and now put the right filmmaker there, And so, yeah, I haven't, because I've been traveling and working and promoting this movie, I haven't had a second to see Obsession yet, but I'm dying to see it. And to be honest, my wife and I wanted to watch it together in the theater. So we were both, I think hopefully we'll go this weekend.
Nice. I haven't seen it either, but I read the script actually. Because I've been just reading a ton of scripts just to get into the modality. I'm like,
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the script. It was a good script. But in full disclosure, I don't know if somebody gave me that script, if I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a smash hit movie. Like I wouldn't have known that from reading the script.
Those are always hard to tell. I'll tell you something. There's a guy that works at Millennium. Doesn't get enough credit. And his name is Sam. And I've worked with him for many years. He started as my assistant. And he's a full-blown producer now.
Nice.
He's amazing. And he, last year and the year before, he was in a meeting with some of our buyers at a film market. And they started to talk about this movie called Back Rooms. I knew nothing about it. And they were like, should we buy it? And Sam, smart Sam, he was like, knew everything about it, knew everything about the filmmaker. And they asked Sam, like, should we buy it for our territories? And Sam was like, this is going to be big. He's like, there's something really special about this. It's going to be really, really big.
Wow.
And the That's just the type of guy. There are just some people that just have their finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And this is one of those guys.
And Sam is one of those guys.
Yeah, he's
Shout
one of
out to
those
Sam.
guys. Yeah. He's just one of those guys. And yeah.
And
the teams don't, I recognize the fact that I'm the head of the company and I'm the one that gets, I go into the thing, but I don't move without any of these guys. You can't.
Right. Yeah. No, it's such a collaborative thing. There's so many moving parts. And have you developed sort of like, obviously like your vast experience at this point and kind of like trial by fire situations, but do you have like a specific philosophy that you've developed about producing or about filmmaking?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I have got a couple. You want to hear one?
I do.
Of course. So the producer, you have to be so in love with the project that you want to make. And there are degrees to that. There's things that you pick up that are a piece of business, you can tell, programmer and stuff like that. But today, you have to be so in love with it. From the moment you read the script or that you hear the pitch or that you come up with your own story or whatever it is, you're the ultimate salesperson because you're selling the entire time. So think about it. A producer, you're shepherding a project, right? You have to sell the filmmaker. If it doesn't come with a filmmaker, just a script, sell the filmmaker on why they should be directing this movie. You have to sell the writer on why they should allow you to buy the script, right? If it's like a big writer or something, sell them on that. Now go and make offers and sell the actors and the agents. As a producer, you have to sell all of them to get the actors on board, right? Then you have to go and sell the crew that you're going to hire. Obviously, those are easier deals to do, and you get crew, or sell the DP and sell, and then and keep selling, keep everybody excited about the project because it takes a long time. And then when you get into prep, you're selling the crew during prep time, guys. Let's keep going. And during production, you make it to production. If you're lucky enough to make it to production, you're selling everyone again. The hard days, all this stuff, guys. Let's keep going. Let's keep going and pushing. And obviously now they're under the direction of the director. Then everyone finishes, the actors finish, the crew, the movie wraps. But as a producer, you're still shepherding the project now, along with the director and the editor. And now you're like giving your vision along with the director in the editing room. And now you're going to the distributors and selling it to the distributors and be like, you need to put money behind this movie and release it because everyone's going to make money. This is an important movie to tell. You're completely selling it until this movie is like done and out and on a shelf somewhere years later. Life is too short to be pushing shit that you don't care about. That's easy for me. And I recognize the fact that someone in my position sitting where I'm sitting today, I'm saying that. And it took me 20 years to get to that. But you gotta love the project that you're doing because that love, when you really love it and you're trying to communicate that love, you're no longer being just a salesman. You're selling a vision, you're selling an idea that you subscribe to yourself.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference. And that authenticity, I think, is really important. The other thing, my philosophy, is if we think we know everything, you deal with someone that thinks that they know everything, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
We know nothing. Every movie is different. Everything is different. Storytelling has ups and downs, and you're dealing with artists, and you're doing all kinds of things. And we think that we've seen it all, and then something surprises us and we have it. And so I think you approach the day with an empty cup. An empty cup can be filled up with such wonderful, glorious things and some shitty things. And then you empty cup at the end of the day and you start again.
That's a really good philosophy.
That. And then there's a lot of personalities in the business.
Yeah.
This kind of goes beyond just the filmmaking. I think there's just being a person and being grounded and humble and understanding, keeping your eye on the prize. All that stuff translates into how we work and how we deal with people. Take care of the crew, and the crew will take care of you. Very, very important. It's nothing like the crew.
It's important.
People bleed for you. These are the people that are working in the outside and the cold and the rain and moving C-stands and big boys around and cranes and all kinds of shit, and working crazy hours. Take care of them, appreciate them. You can't move without them. And then, a lot of screwed up things can happen in the industry. There's a lot of people with different personalities, like I said. Don't react to everything. Don't react.
That's
There's
powerful.
a big difference between responding and reacting.
100%. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately.
And it's easy if you fall into that kind of trap. You start reacting to things. You don't make the right decisions. And so take your time, take a breath, and learn to respond and not react to stuff. And then one of my favorite lines that I really try to apply to everything in my life, especially filmmaking, is from the movie The Karate Kid, the one with Jackie Chan.
Oh, okay.
Jaden Smith.
I was going to say, is it wax on or wax off?
No. It's a line that Jackie Chan said in the movie, and it's like I was watching Karate Kid to be entertained. I was like, he hit me with this line. I'm like, oh shit, that's deep. When a blind man is swinging, the best thing you can ever do is just step out of the way. Right?
That's so powerful.
Isn't it? And it came from the fucking Karate Kid.
No, that's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
I kind of think of it in a similar way. If a chihuahua is barking at you, do you get mad at a chihuahua? Exactly. I've thought about that as like
That's a great one. Yeah. I know what I'm going to send you for your birthday. Okay. I'm going to send you. We should send you a box of chihuahuas. Just a lot of them. Happy birthday, Zeph. Let me see how calm you could stay during this. That's exactly. It's, and then just, we know nothing.
That's powerful. I always say, if you're not humble in this world will find a way to humble you. So you might as well be humbled in the first place.
Yeah.
Because one way or the other, it's, life will sort of give you that humility.
Yeah.
If you're too arrogant in this world,
Absolutely. If you don't have, especially if you don't have awareness. Whew.
So yeah.
I so agree with you. I don't want the world to teach me something, because when the world comes to teach you a lesson, the universe comes to teach you a lesson, a lot of times that lesson sucks.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And what you're saying about the responding versus reacting is something that resonates really strongly with me, because I was just giving that advice. I mentor film students, and I was trying to tell them, and I was giving advice to a good friend of mine saying, hey, you don't need to react to everything. You don't have to have an automatic reaction to everything. So I was kind of saying something very similar.
Exactly. Exactly.
And a really good friend of mine is something I always think about. My friend Wayne Gordon, back in the day, who was from South Florida, but my roommate from college, who was from Miami, awesome guy. And it really almost, he was like a wise man. I like the wisdom that he had, But Wayne said something to me a while back. He's like, a rational decision is a point between two extremes. And I'm like, man,
say that again.
A rational decision is a point between two extremes.
Oh.
And I thought that's really strong, because think about it. Like, one extreme is flipping out in a situation, but what's the other extreme then? Doing nothing. And then sometimes that rational decision is finding somewhere in between that point.
Yes. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good tattoo for a tramp stamp. A rational decision,
but it would have to be in Asian letters.
Yeah, in Asian letters. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. People are like, it says a rational decision. Right.
It's like,
but it
really
just says like chicken fried rice.
That would be amazing.
I saw one time I was at Burning Man. I went to Burning Man many years in a row with my friends, and I see this guy walking, and he had a tattoo in Hebrew on his back, and I read Hebrew. And I asked him, like, what does your tattoo say? And he says, it's my zodiac sign, or something. It's like my zodiac sign. I'm a Cancer. I don't remember. It was something along those lines. But when I read the back of his head, I was like, it said Yeled Tov, which means good boy. Like, it did not say anything. Yeah. And it's just like right there, like on the back.
That's hysterical, dude.
Blades.
That's freaking
like,
amazing.
These things exist?
So many.
Yeah, so many, man. Oh, man.
So what else, what's next? You mentioned Rambo. Is there anything else next in the pipeline that we should be on the lookout for?
We have, there's a few projects we're trying to package right now. And Arcana is doing some animated projects at the moment for the studios, excuse me.
Oh, nice.
And then we're going to do the next Rambo. And then 2 of our franchises are actively being developed at the moment.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Any more Expendables movies or what?
Maybe.
I like it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Cool. Well, Jonathan Younger, always appreciate you.
You too, my friend. It's great to be with you, Zeph.
Likewise, man.
This was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. Thank you.
All
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you
I'll
for again
see
for
you
the
around.
invite.
And go see Lucky Strike.
All of you
June
go see
26th.
I highly implore it. I co-sign on it.
See you, man.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Film Situation podcast.